This conference will now be recorded.
There we go. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Board of Commissioners meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. If you come here tomorrow, you won't see us because it has been moved to Wednesday, which is the 22nd of December, 2021. We have moved that just because if you are just joining us and you don't know, we do that because as the holidays come close, sometimes it's easier to get everything done before people get out of town and breaks start to begin. So as we get started in this thing, one real quick little statement we generally have made for the last 20 something months, it seems like. So we'll do that real quick and then get into the business of everything. So if you bear with me, so good morning again, commissioners, staff, citizens. Since this is a hybrid meeting, some initial comments are appropriate. As required by the governor's March 24th proclamation, the Lake Stevens Sewer District has held its commissioner meetings remotely using the GoToMeeting platform. While this has occurred for more than a year, we're glad to be able to ensure continuity of business operations and are excited to be able to move into what we would call a hybrid meeting as we safely work to our back to normal in-person meetings. Members of the public who are participating in this in-person or remote meeting, we are very grateful for your support, patience as we work through this interim way of doing business. As required by the Snohomish Health District's August 10th, 2021 directive, masks are required regardless of the vaccination status while you would be in this meeting here. And if you do not have masks, we have them at the front counter, or we would just ask you to join us remotely. Members of the public who have been invited to join in person in accordance with the CDC and state coronavirus guidelines and via this virtual meeting platform on the GoToMeeting. The public comment sections are going to be handled in a few ways. First, any comments, questions, concerns that were emailed or otherwise received sufficiently in advance of this meeting will be read at the public forum aspect of today's agenda. Secondly, during the meeting, any remote participants wishing to comment during the public forum may use the chat box feature, and you'll be recognized and given that opportunity to comment. And finally, anybody in person this morning wishing to comment on any board business or anything in question or comments, we'll give you an opportunity during that public forum, and you'll be provided the opportunity to speak. One thing we just have to remember, because this is a GoToMeeting platform, we all have to kind of speak one at a time, because while it is recorded, we do take some notes, and sometimes even in recordings, when more than one person is speaking, it has trouble deciphering which individual is saying what. So please be patient as we work through this, and just remember to speak one at a time. So with that being said, we've called it to order. If you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, we will move into the next aspects of our meetings. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, good morning again, everybody. It's great to see a lot of people on our virtual wall, as we call it. This morning we have myself, Commissioner Lorenzen, I have Commissioner Koshi, and I think Commissioner Stevenson has a previous engagement, and we'll try to check into the meeting before it ends this morning. So at this point, she is not available and would be excused if she is not able to make it. So we'll just move on down. If you're looking at today's agenda, the next item we are on is going to be item number 3. This is where we would approve the agenda as submitted if there are no changes or anything today. So I would look to staff.
Nothing from staff.
Nothing from staff. I look at the wall up there if anybody wanted to comment on it. Don't see it lighting up with any of the chat box features. And then I would look to Commissioner Koshi if he had anything.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
So there is a motion on the floor, which I would go ahead and second this morning for the approval of the agenda as submitted. I will go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are moving on. We're moving on down to item number 4 this morning on the consent agenda, which is the consent agenda items under today's agenda. Their items have been previously reviewed by not only the staff, but the Board of Commissioners. It's A through I. I would look to my fellow commissioner this morning if there's any questions, comments, concerns, or motions.
I'll make a motion that we approve consent items A through I.
There is a motion on the floor to approve consent agenda items A through I as submitted and reviewed. I would second that motion, and I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're going to move on down. Public forum. This is an opportunity. I don't know. I looked to staff this morning. Have we received any?
Nothing.
Nothing has come in via the customer service or email. I'll look to the wall up there, our virtual wall, see if anything's lighting up. Anybody's signifying by raising their hand or waving frantically because they're not able to get to the chat button. Not seeing that light up. This morning, as we look into the audience, well, there's only us, so we have nobody from the public joining us this morning. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and close the public forum aspect of the meeting this morning. Moving on down to item 6, which is old business. Of course, there is nothing listed under old business, so we will move on through that. And we are going to go down to item 7 on the agenda, which is new business. There are 4 items, A through D. We're going to start with A, which is the HISE Preliminary Review Reimbursement Agreement. And I will look to staff.
All right. So this agreement is between the district and the developer, the proponent of the HISE annexation area and future development of that area. Statutes don't allow the district to enter into a developer extension agreement until the annexation is complete. And the developer or potential developer would like the district to start reviewing some of the documents. Since the HISE property is already in city boundaries, just not district boundaries, they're able to begin the plat process. So without this agreement, we don't really have a vehicle to get reimbursed for any reviews that we do. So this agreement is just that vehicle mechanism that allows us to get paid for any reviews that we begin. The agreement's been reviewed by legal and district staff recommends it for approval.
Yeah, and this is one just general manager signed.
Yeah, and if the authorization for the general manager to sign.
Perfect. No, I think I'm good. I think it just kind of gets things moving so we're not even further behind, or especially for the individuals that are looking to develop that property, they would have to wait an additional time frame. So it really, it's kind of nice just to be timely for them, and it doesn't do anything that's detrimental other than it just, we get reimbursed for a cost. So
I'll make a motion to authorize the general manager to enter an agreement for the HISE Preliminary Review Reimbursement Agreement.
I would second that motion that was on the floor for the HISE Preliminary Review Reimbursement Agreement. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Move on down. We have item B under new business, which is the developer standards variance request, and this is Kravchuk. I'm going to assume I pronounce that properly, but don't hold me to it.
Yeah. All right, so this property is located on about 118th and 20th Street Northeast. There is a parcel owner there that wants to develop their parcel, and under current code, the developer would be required to enter into a developer extension agreement and extend public sewer main onto their property. However, all the adjoining lots are already served by sewer, have an easier path to sewer. So the developer is asking that the project be served by an existing 6-inch stub. And there's plenty of capacity in that 6-inch stub to be able to serve what the proponent is hoping to do. So district staff recommends approval of the variance with the condition of we asked the owner of the parcel to CCTV the existing stub to make sure it was serviceable. And in doing so, they found a couple of holes in the existing stub. So one of the conditions would be that they have to replace that damaged section before connecting any new connections to it. But district staff definitely recommends this one for approval.
Nice work on the CATV requirement.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I'm good with it, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve the developer standard variance request for Crab Truck.
And I guess I would add one more caveat and then allow me to execute the variance.
And and allowed our assistant general manager to be able to make sure the conditions are met and to execute the agreement.
So there's a motion on the floor for the approval of the standard variance request for Crab Truck. I would go ahead and second that with all of the addendums that we added to it. So that being said, any further? Nope. Go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are moving down to item C under new business, which is also another developer standards variance request with St. John.
All right, so this property is located on Stitch Road, and the commissioners may be aware that was one of the first areas that the district put pipe in. So it's an old sewer main, asbestos concrete sewer main, which is, if you look at it, it could break. So we generally try not to let anybody do work on or near AC mains. So this variance is to allow the property owner to serve 2 duplexes through a side sewer that would generally be parallel for a way of our sewer main to our sewer main, and then connect to a manhole that's further downstream. It would not necessarily be compliant with existing code. We don't like side sewers to run parallel to sewer mains, and especially not in right way. But this side sewer would be in right way, and I think the benefit to allowing it in this one varied instance is just so they don't have to touch that asbestos concrete sewer main.
53-year-old pipe.
Yeah. So
That would be us.
As they say in the Christmas story, it's fragile.
yeah. So the condition for approval is that the proponent get the appropriate rights of way permits from the city of Lake Stevens before we'll issue the permit. And district staff recommends the variance for approval. And we'd also ask that you authorize the assistant general manager to execute the variance.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have no other questions on it.
it's kind of close to home, this one. But yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the developer standards variance request for St. John with authorization for the assistant GM to sign with the conditions that as stated, which include getting a variance from the city.
Motion on the floor for that developer standards variance request for the St. John request, and I would second that. Any further discussion? It has been moved and seconded. Hearing nothing else, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
That's good. Thank you. And last in the new business this morning is D, is a contract award for financial review services to CLA Clifton Larson Allen LLP. And I know I will turn that over to staff, and I'll look that way because I know the general manager's been working on it. She's had a lot of long weekends working financials.
So currently the district sends our financials out to CPA for review and also for assistance in preparing our annual financials. That individual has been planning to retire for quite a while, and so we knew we needed to find somebody else. So the district put out an RFP. We had 4 responsive proposers to that RFP. District staff underwent the process of reviewing those and ranking them, and so we recommend awarding a contract to Clifton Larson Allen LLP in the amount of $31,700. And that's for review of our monthly financials and also the preparation of our annual financials, as well as presenting to the board those annual financials and assisting us with any help we need with the state auditor's office for questions on those. So looking for board approval, award of that contract, and the general manager to enter into that agreement.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember looking at everything in the package, how that each of them came down, so I have no other.
I don't either. I'll make a motion that we authorize our general manager to award the contract for financial review services with CLA, Clifton Larson Allen LLP.
We just add for $31,700, I think that's what it is. So with that, I would second that. Any further discussion on that? None? I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. I know it's been a lot of work and, there'll be a transition date, I'm sure I think it's Ashley was doing some of our financials over the year. I can't remember half the people, but
Exciting to see someone retire.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
okay, well, we're moving on down to managers' reports. We're going to start with the general manager. This is item 8 if you're following on the agenda this morning.
Alrighty, so close of plant are 3.5 million gallons a day. Our NOI, notice of intent for the Puget Sound Nutrient General Permit was submitted this past week and was accepted. And then we are still working on our NPDES permit in order to submit to Ecology. We're just waiting on some final lab results that were outsourced. And as soon as those get in, we'll be able to submit that to Ecology. We actually got a new permit writer just last week for our Department of Ecology. So this will be a new adventure for us with somebody we have not worked with before. Then we also have, you'll remember we passed the duplicate billing resolution, which implemented a $35 setup or modification fee. And so that has been implemented. Our forms on the website have all been updated, as well as adding it as one of the fees that could possibly be waived on a case-by-case basis at staff discretion. And that is all I have for you.
Great, covered, thank you. Assistant GM.
All right. So thus far, we've collected 605 GFCs and have issued 487 permits. This week, the sewer district accepted the Lake Drive DEA project as well as Mountain View Phase 2. Lake Drive was 48 units and Mountain View Phase 2 was 91 lots. The lift station 18 pipe repair, if you commissioners recall, we had found a broken segment of pipe close to our lift station 18, and it was allowing a lot of inflow and infiltration. Well, we had the contractors start on that last week and they successfully completed the repair. All we're waiting on now is some restoration work. And our pre-treatment team's been doing an excellent job. This year we've seen more compliance with the pre-treatment regulations than we have in all the years previous. And that is directly attributed to the outreach and education that our pre-treatment teams offering all of our food service establishments. So yeah, the regulations, the hard work is starting to pay off. We expected about a 3 to 5 year buy-in from the community, and we're actually starting to see that. So kudos to them for sure. And that's all I got.
One question, no more issues on our regional lift station odor control? I'm assuming that's how good.
That is complete now as well. And yeah, it's a new noise, so we've gotten a little bit of one neighbor has asked us to look at finding ways to make it a little quieter, so we're doing that now. But other than that, yeah, the odor is it's a lot better than it was for sure.
Do we have to wait till summer to really know?
Yeah. That'll be the true test. But the technology that we implemented there has a pretty good track record of being a quality product. So
yeah, I know somebody who lives down that road, and they said they said the true test was at times when they would go out and wait for the bus at the bench we put there. They no longer have to deal with the odor around the bench.
That nice bench is like us now.
yeah, I know.
So they were happy. So well, thank you. City report. I see Gene up there. So this opportunity, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. The only thing that is of importance here that you should probably know about is obviously we're watching the weather forecast and 70% chance of snow on Saturday. So we're geared up for that. Certainly if the district has any snow removal needs or anything like that, feel free to call the online number or talk with Aaron directly. And other than that, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, well, we're really moving through this. We're down to 10 with, of course, I'm going to ask, I think there is a short executive session this morning, so I didn't mention that, but there will be an executive session. I just mentioned that now. There would be no decision to follow, but it's litigation, potential and litigation, so that's probably what it's going to be. I look to the general manager to keep me on track, but with that being said, when we get to that point, I'll let our lovely legal counsel fill in all the blanks I glossed over. But I'm going to look to Commissioner Koshy for.
No, I got nothing other than looking forward to breaking a little bread tomorrow with the team and saying hello. So other than that, I just happy holidays, everybody, and hope everybody gets a little time to recharge, even if we have to do it in shifts. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I would reiterate that too. I mean, wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, because some we may not see until the new year. So I mean, 2022 is just days away. I appreciate all the hard work the staff has done. It has been a trying year, just like 2020 when all this first started, and it didn't seem to get much better in the context of meetings and a lot of things come up. But I think we're all gelling very well as an organization, and that's first and foremost. Make sure everybody and their families have a wonderful end of the year. I do look forward to tomorrow to reiterate that with staff, because it's really nice, and appreciate everybody on the virtual wall, working with the city, working with our legal. They keep us all in check. So thank you again for that. So as we move on down, there is, like I said, an executive session this morning. There would be no decision to follow. It is an evaluation. I would look to Mr. Cattle as our legal for one last time. Thank you, Gene, because I know that he retires at the end of this month, which we are going to miss dearly, but we do have great work with George Teams, who's going to be the replacement, so we look forward to that. I know that Mr. Williams, looks like Ken Williams is joining us this morning. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to legal to do all the virtual information that's needed. I suspect it would be about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes. So we may come out to extend, but at this point, we're going to say 20 minutes. I'll let them fill in exactly when 20 minutes would end on the clock. So, gentlemen, I'll look to you guys.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And maybe just before we do the executive session announcement, you alluded to the fact that this is my last commission meeting, and I would just like to thank the commissioners, the administrative staff, and all of the members of the district for what has been just a great opportunity to serve the district over the years. And Jordan will be taking over and is extremely capable. You'll be going from actually the B team to the A team to continue the representation of the district. You'll be getting an exceptional lawyer to continue the representation of the district. But having said that, the commission will be moving into executive session to be discussing pending litigation. And Mariah, are we going to be talking about another matter?
No, just the one.
Okay. Pending litigation for a period of up to 20 minutes. At the conclusion of the executive session, there will be no announcement and there will be no action taken by the commission. The 20 minutes by my computer clock will be let's just say 9:45 when the commission returns to regular session. And at that point in time, the commission will return to regular session and the meeting will be adjourned unless it is extended for further discussions. So with that, if the person who is in control of
This
Okay.
conference will now be recorded.
Well, folks, this is the Board of Commissioners meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. It is 9:45. We are going to extend the meeting to 9:55. Again, no decision will follow. Once we conclude this meeting, come out and we will adjourn the regular board meeting. But it is going to be extended till 9:55. Thank you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good morning again, folks. This is the Board of Commissioners meeting for Lake Stevens Sewer District. We are returning from executive session as previously mentioned and the extension. There is no decision to follow as stated. So at this point, the last thing on the business for the Board of Commissioners this morning is to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. We love the hard work you've all done, and you all have a great holiday, and we'll see you after the new year. And thank you, Brad, for your service. Yeah.
thank you.